Hey, everybody, and welcome to today's episode. I'm Ryan, and you're tuned in to the We Are All Veterans podcast. Today, I wanted to talk about something that came up recently last week with claims assistance. We're going to get into that, and then if there's time, I've got a really cool kind of history lesson thing here. Let me pull it up. It's actually pretty interesting. It's one thing that I've always been interested in. It's a story. So if we have time for that, let's get into it. But first, let's talk about something I wanted to bring up. Claim Shark versus paid claim assistance. Now, there was some controversy recently. Veteran with a Sign has become a brand ambassador to ReMedical. ReMedical is a paid claim assistance company. And what that is so when it comes to submitting your VA claims, you can go through any veteran service organization that offers that service, and they will help you with the submission of your claims. This is what I did with my initial claim. I went through a VSO that was available on Fort Drum. I can't remember what organization they were with, but they were on Fort Drum before I out processed, or while I was out processing, so that all my claims stuff would be there when I ETS'd and got home. So then I basically, from my date of ETS, that is the date that the claim submission starts, and so kind of they can back pay you. I got some back pay. I bought a rifle with my back pay. It was a good thing. Recently, I've put in for a rating increase because I do feel that as if a lot of my service-connected disabilities have deteriorated, not improved over the years. So I went through DAV, Disabled American Veterans. That's one. I'm not endorsing anybody. I'm not putting down anybody. I'm not saying don't go to certain people. I'm just laying out just the facts of this. So, I will say I've had a good experience with DAV. They've helped me through the claims process. I'm still in the process, so I don't have a full finalized determination yet. So I can't really say overall in general how they are, but they've been pleasant to work with. I will say that. So, in terms of a VSO, they do offer that service. I know a lot of them do. There's the VFW. I think American Legion does. The Purple Heart Association. A multitude of veteran organizations do help with the claims process, whether you're doing your initial or a revisit. And then there's other, let's just say, organizations out there that offer claims assistance for a nominal fee. I'm not going to opine one way or another, benefit or not, on these companies. I'm just laying out the facts. I'm just giving you the information. Paid claim assistance basically is just that. You give them money and they help you with your claim. They offer up their expertise, if you will, their various, knowledge bases to help you with your claims process. They know the system, they know the bureaucracy, they know all the red tape that they have to get through, and they will assist you with that. I'm not saying that VFW, DAV, Purple Heart, etc. don't. I'm not saying that. But the paid claims people claim you. A lot of people will say you get what you pay for. The free claims assistance is just that you're not paying anything for it, so you're getting the bare minimum. I don't know if I agree with that. However, what I will say is that this does open the door to some predatory practices, and so you have to draw a line of distinction between paid claims service, where you pay them to help you with your claim, and predatory practices, what some would call claim sharks. There are companies that will prey upon veterans who are vulnerable, who do not know how to navigate the system, do not understand the intricacies and the bureaucracy of the VA comp and pen claim system. And they will take advantage of that. And they will say, you don't know what you're doing, therefore we are going to take advantage of you. And that is predatory. That is wrong. And I think these companies that do that should be sought out and prosecuted and named and shamed. I don't know. I did not compile a list. I'm not going to be that person for you. You can do your own research. I will say this, do your own research. If you're going to utilize a claims assistance service, whether it be free through a VSO or whether it be paid, make sure you do your research and you look at what the fine print on the contract says, because there are claims I will use assistance loosely here, claims assistance companies out there that will take advantage of you, that will prey upon you, that are predatory, that are immoral. Some of them have basically in their fine print, they say they can garnish your disability payments for the rest of your life. No, I'm not kidding. There are contracts out there. I've checked into this. And again, I don't have the names of the companies that do this, but there are some out there. There are companies out there that do this, and they will basically say, they'll make you sign, not make you, but they will have you sign a contract that says that they are entitled to a percentage of your VA disability payments, your monthly disability payments. That they take a chunk of that. Whether it's 5, 10, 15, I don't know. I've never seen these contracts. I've just heard about them. I've heard that there are companies that do it that way. Companies like ReMedical, I've heard, do just a one-time fee. You pay them. They help you with your claim, and your money is yours. They don't want to touch any of it, and that's fine. I will say, whether you pay for it or not, yeah. So there's been some hoopla, some dust up over this. I'm not going to go deep into it. If you want, I'll link in the description. There's a really good YouTube video done by Angry Cops where Rich Hyde, Angry Cops. If you haven't checked out his channel, check it out. He's phenomenal. He's a police officer and a former drill. I think he's former or current, but he was a drill sergeant in the Army. I know he's still in the Army, either reserves or National Guard. I can't remember. Forgive me. But he does a really good breakdown of basically Veteran with a Sign and ReMedical. Veteran with a Sign is a brand ambassador for ReMedical. Apparently he utilized their service, liked it. They made him a brand ambassador because he's a well-known veteran on social media. He's the guy that holds up a cardboard sign. He's wearing sunglasses and a green shirt. I can try and put a picture up. He holds up a sign that has like writing on it, good positive image for veterans, let's help veterans stop killing themselves, stuff like that. But apparently he partnered up with ReMedical, and then the DC VFW, not the I guess it was VFW HQ. Angry Cops' description does a better job than I can about what actually transpired. But long story short, the VFW HQ posted a thing lampooning Veteran with a Sign, saying that ReMedical is a claim shark, and they called out Veteran with a Sign, Zach, the guy who started Veteran with a Sign, social media. They called Zach out and said, what's your take on this? You're supporting a claim shark. And basically it blew up in their face. A lot of people are upset with the VFW HQ. The DC VFW stepped in it. A whole bunch of dust up. I recommend watching the video that Angry Cops does, because it explains better than I can what's going on with all that. But bottom line, it's veterans attacking veterans, which I absolutely hate. And it's feeling like VFW HQ didn't do their research and didn't realize that, yes, there are claim services out there you pay for. And that's fine. it's not, I don't consider it a bad thing. I don't consider it negative. I don't consider it predatory in any manner. It's when they do go too far. Now, granted, how much is too much? I don't know. I think the free market should decide how much, how much, how much is it worth to you. I was unaware of these claim services when I put in for my my claims increase. So I wasn't aware. Would I have utilized them? I don't know. It would have played a role in maybe researching more. Because all I did was I checked, do I want this VSO or this VSO to help me, and I've had experience with DAV, so I went with them. Yeah. So would I've utilized it? I don't know. That's up to you. That's all up to the individual. That's their decision to make and their decision alone. Now here's where things get a little. The VFW is backing a piece of legislation. It is, and I've got a link here. I will link it in the description. But it is Senate Bill 740, the Guard VA Benefits Act. Basically, the broad strokes of this is that, and it's a pretty short bill, I guess. I mean, it's only a page here, but it basically says reinstatement of penalties for charging veterans unauthorized fees relating to claims for benefit under laws administered by the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. It's basically eliminating the paid claims assistance companies. And it's no surprise why this is backed by the VFW, because the VFW offers free claims assistance. The quality of such, I will not make comment on because I've never used them, and I honestly don't know, and I'm not going to go there. However, it's basically charging of unauthorized fees or withholding of benefits, which is basically if they charge you. And it says charging of unauthorized fees except as provided, and they go through a bunch of legalese. Whoever directly or indirectly solicits contracts for, charges or receives or attempt to solicit, contract for, or charge or receive any fee or compensation with respect to the preparation, presentation, or prosecution of any claim for benefits under laws administered by the Secretary shall be fined as provided in Title 18 or imprisoned not more than 1 year, or both. So I mean, they're instituting, basically you can't charge to help veterans with their claims. Now, I'm on the same side as the fat electrician on this. I don't know, bro. That sounds like a bunch of communist gobbledygook. If somebody wants to pay for a service, they should be allowed to. I like straight up, like making it so that like you can't charge for your expertise. That's like saying that a lawyer's not allowed to charge because we have a right to an attorney. Fat electrician said the same thing. I know. I'm not parroting him. I'm just echoing. So I will say that's I disagree with this. I disagree with this piece of legislation. It is by Boozman and Blumenthal, Tester, and Graham, and it was referred to the Committee on Veterans Affairs. This is March 2023. It just says it was introduced. The last action was hearings held on April 26, 2023. I'm not entirely sure, but I think this may potentially be dead. It was introduced, nothing has happened, and it's nothing. The last actual thing that happened with this legislation was over a year ago. Might be dead. But at any rate, I think that the idea there is still, yeah. I'm gonna put the Guard Act in the description. Is it dead in the water? Who knows? So there we go. 15 minutes to cover. But basically, in the whole grand scheme of processing claims, do your research. Find out the difference. Is the company, if you decide to go this route and deal with a company that offers paid claim assistance, do your research. Look at the contracts. Ask to see the agreement. Ask to see the terms and conditions of their service up front. If they don't disclose up front, walk away. I'm serious. Like, I know a lot of companies will like guard their information. Well, we don't know. No, I want to see the contract before I sign it. I want to see the terms and the stipulations before I enter into any agreement or service with you. You should be entitled to that. And I want to know up front what the overall cost is going to be. If it's a one-time fee or if it ends up being that they take a chunk of your disability, that's a claim shark. Walk away. Do not utilize their services. I'm telling you, looking out for other veterans here, don't do it if they charge you by month every time. Just walk away. So we have that. Let's get into fun stuff. History lesson here from this is Master Sergeant Roy Benavidez. He was born in Texas. This is a story that should definitely be told in a film, because I like the American Sniper with Chris Kyle was a good film. This would be a super exciting. So he was born in 1935 in Texas, and he joined the Texas Army National Guard in 1952 during the Korean War. Roy Benavidez went to basically switched from guard to active duty, and in 1959, he was assigned to the 82nd Airborne Division at Fort Bragg, North Carolina, which is pretty cool. He was an airborne trooper in the 50s, which, post World War II, post Korea, interesting times to be in the military. Then he became a member of 5th Special Forces Group and the Studies and Observations Group, SOG. He basically was Special Forces, Green Beret. He went to Vietnam, and he was an advisor for the Army of the Republic of Vietnam. And he did a solo reconnaissance mission during one of his tours there, and he stepped on a landmine. And he was evacuated. They said he would never walk again, and began to process medical discharge papers for him. He was stung by the diagnosis, as well as flag burnings and criticism in the media of Vietnam. And basically, he kind of endeavored to walk again. I mean, just said, screw this. I'm not going to be bound to a wheelchair. And so he basically every single night against doctor's orders got up and started walking and teaching himself how to walk. He would do all this stuff. And he was determined after a year of being in the hospital that he would go back. So he went back to Vietnam in 1968. The guy was told he was never going to walk again. And he's like, screw you, I'm doing that. And he went and walked again. Then in 1968, he, 12-man Special Forces Patrol and the Montagnard tribesmen got surrounded by about 1,000 men. And Benavidez heard on the radio that they needed help. And this is according to the story. He got on a helicopter, and armed only with a knife, he jumped out of the helicopter with his medical bag and ran to help the patrol, the 12-man team and their 9 tribesmen. And basically he fought off a bunch of North Vietnamese army soldiers, and one of them stabbed him with his bayonet. He pulled it out, drew his own knife, killed him, and moved on, leaving his knife in the NVA soldier's body. He killed 2 more with an AK while providing cover fire for guys boarding a helicopter. And he just took a beating. So I think he got shot, stabbed, and a couple other things. But then, he was evacuated, and I guess he passed out at one point, and they placed him in a body bag thinking he was dead. They examined him, and the doctor basically declared him dead. And he spit blood into the face of the doctor, proving he wasn't dead. He had a total of 37 bullet, bayonet, and shrapnel wounds during a 6-hour fight with the enemy. And then he won the Medal of Honor, which is amazing. So Roy Benavidez, definitely, this is a story I think that would make for a great movie or television, whichever. I think movie. But yeah, he was awarded the Medal of Honor, and I believe it was awarded to him, yes, by President Reagan in 1981. So yeah, he was a badass. Let's look at what he has here. He has his awards. This is amazing awards here. He got the Medal of Honor, Purple Heart with 4 oak leaf clusters, Defense Meritorious Service Medal, Meritorious Service Medal, Army Commendation Medal, Army Achievement Medal, Army Good Conduct Medal with silver clasp and 2 loops, so he got it multiple times. Good Conduct Medals, you don't get in trouble for a number of years. National Defense Service Medal with 1 service star, Korean Service Medal with 1 campaign star, Armed Forces Expeditionary Medal, Vietnam Service Medal with 4 campaign stars, so 4 times there, NCO Professional Development Ribbon with award numeral 3, Army Service Ribbon, Army Overseas Service Ribbon, UN Korea Medal, Vietnam Campaign Medal, Korean War Service Medal, and he had Combat Infantryman Badge, Master Parachutist Badge, South Vietnamese Parachutist Badge, Army Special Forces Distinctive Unit Insignia, that's the Deo Presso Liber, Special Forces Tab, and the Army Special Forces CSIB with the airborne device, 8 service stripes, and 4 overseas service bars. The guy was, yeah, and he also got the Texas Legislative Medal of Honor, which is apparently the highest honor you can be bestowed by the state of Texas. All in all, yeah, Roy Benavidez was a badass. He retired as a Master Sergeant from the Army in 1976, and unfortunately we lost Master Sergeant Roy Benavidez on November 29th, 1998, but he's given a lot of speeches. If you're ever looking around for some motivational stuff, look up his speech. He is a hell of a guy. All right, so today's kind of a short episode, but that's all I've got. Roy Benavidez, my hat's off to you, sir. Yeah, back to claims stuff. Make sure that you do your research, know the difference, look at the fine print, read through it. Check if you want to know more about this. Check out the Angry Cops video on the whole Zach and Remedical versus the VFW. It's pretty interesting. I've got nothing against the VFW. I really do like the VFW. They do good things, but that particular one, I'm a little hesitant of. I think that's either they. I don't know. I want to chalk it up to ignorance. They don't know what they're talking about, but who knows? Anyway, like, comment, subscribe. I read all comments. I read all emails. Linktree link below, and as always, thanks for tuning in to the We Are All Veterans podcast, and I'll see you guys on the next one.